This is a board called Variant. It is also known as VJF. It comes in my absolute favorite layout, which is the function row-less 1800 compact style, which can be seen in boards like Blackbird by Duck and Project F by Matrix Labs. This board was only available in a small group buy, only available to the Asia Pacific region, so shout out to my friend E in Singapore for proxying this for me. E also has her own collection of amazing keyboards. I'll drop a link in the descriptions if you want to check her collection out as well. The unit I purchased is a full matte black top and bottom, and as you can see, it is accompanied by multiple amazing looking brass pieces. The kit also comes with both plate and case foams, if you like a more muted sound like me. For stabs, I'll be using some tried and true Durock V2s, for which I'll be holy modding for this build. And last but not least, switches will be some marshmallows, lubed in film by my friend Tap Tap Tian. As I mentioned before, I decided to holy mod every single stab on this build, which basically involves using little pieces of fabric band-aids to kind of mask up the area where the wire sits. I was never a huge fan of holy mods, as I personally thought it left a little bit of a mushiness, but I have to give Hamagineo full credit for converting me to holy mods, as when I watched one of his videos, he mentioned that it takes in a lot of break-in time. I never thought about it that much, and I decided to take my time on this specific build, and lo and behold, I liked it. I'll leave a link in the description to Hamaji's tutorial if you want to try it yourself. Once the holy mods were complete, I simply used 205G0 on sliders and housings, and some BDZ on my wires. Oh, and I put some KBD fans stab foams on the PCB. This combination was super effective and efficient that I only had to go back and top up some BDZ on one of these stab sets. Since I was going for a more muted, thocky sound on this board, I used both the pre-cut plate foam and case foam. And the plate, as you can see, is polished brass. In terms of soldering equipment, I use the TS100 at 360 degrees Celsius with some good old leaded solder. Before assembling, I made sure to put on the bumpers first so I don't scratch this beautiful matte black case. Since I wanted to use this board as a daily driver for work, I wanted to make sure the typing experience wasn't too stiff, so I opted in for some O-ring mod on the mounting spots of this top mounted board. And what I'm holding here is the USB port protector in the same brass material. And this is one of the 3 brass accent pieces that I think what makes this board classy, as well as adding heft. And next up is the brass weight that goes on the bottom housing. Even though it was a really nice polished brass, I thought it could use some white infill to accentuate the Variant lettering. So I followed Wildcat's guide on how to infill using acrylic paint. I'll also leave a link to Wildcat's tutorial in case you want to try it. It's a really inexpensive mod since the acrylic paint usually only costs about $3 to $5. Since the surface area we were trying to cover was quite large, we modified Wildcat's technique a bit and used a squeegee to apply a more even pressure. Also, a special thanks to my girlfriend for lending me her artistic hands, as I couldn't have done it as perfectly as this. I'm not sure why, but I felt like Willy Wonka putting the golden ticket in a chocolate bar here. Once the 3-part bottom case was assembled, I was able to put together the entire board. And as I mentioned, it is a stiffer plate, so I decided to opt in for the case foam. And here is the third and last brass accent piece, which is a cherry blossom logo, also infilled the same way as the bottom weight. And to top it off, I broke the seal of my IFK Blacklight that I picked up from Ash Keeps, which are nice thick PBT keycaps with some funky colors for legends. Well, thanks for sitting through this long build, and I hope you enjoy the creamy sound of the typing test.